Okay, I don't know what's going on with my camera equipment, but if the first 6 seconds is just me staring into the screen, I'm sorry. Um, Listen, we're here to continue ranking the best players in each position I've watched, basically the 21st century. I'm a young boy, and yeah, we did goalies a couple days ago. Now, I did say in that video I was gonna get these videos out every 2 or 3 days, but before I went on this trip, I'm at my girlfriend's house right now, guys. This is why I'm in a new location, new setup. Um, yeah, I was too tired to record the other two videos and spend another 3, 4 hours doing that. And I went to sleep because I had a busy day at work the next day. So we're here. I'm in San Francisco right now. At San Francisco, I'm in you. I'm in you. And yeah, we're going to do the 21st century fullbacks this video. Remember, these are players I've seen. I'm not doing best fullbacks of all time. I'm just ranking fullbacks that I've seen in my lifetime, and I'm ranking them based on what I saw. Okay? Some players on this list might have been a little past their peak and might have been at the tail end of their career, and maybe they'll be lower than you think they should be. But this is my opinion. And if you disagree with it, tell me in the comments that I'm an idiot. Tell me in the comments that you can buy and sell my whole family. I'm up for it. I'm up for it. But let's just go, guys. I got the tier list. I made these tier lists myself. And let's start with the first. Remember, guys, we have the king. One, guys, there is not multiple kings. This is an LGBTQ society on this channel. There's only one king, just like there's only two genders. And yeah, there's gonna be one king. You got your table 1, 2, and 3 guys, and then you got your waiters. So your table ones are, quality, one of the best, elite of the elite. Table 2, very good. Table 3, decent guys. And your waiters are, the guys that get on their knees and bring the food to the other guys that are there to eat. So yeah, without further ado, let's go. First player on the list is Cesar Azpilicueta. And now Azpilicueta as a fullback is table 3. Now, yes, I understand Azpilicueta is a Champions League winner now. I think he was the captain for Chelsea in 2021. I understand, but if I'm remembering correctly, Azpilicueta was a center back at that point. He wasn't a fullback because he used to play right back, and Reece James was a right back during that campaign for Chelsea. So he actually won a Champions League as the captain of Chelsea as a center back. That's where his best performances for me have came from, and that resulted in a Champions League. That resulted in him captaining Chelsea, underdogs, a team who no one thought would win the Champions League that season, two Champions League winners in 2020-2021 season. So Azpilicueta, so many years in the Premier League, he was always a kind of a mid fullback. I never rated him that highly. So that's why I have him on this list, because a lot of people will associate him in the Champions League captain of Chelsea, but that was at center back. That wasn't from fullback. So honestly, come the end of this video, and now at the end of this video, I might move some guys around. But honestly, come the end of this video, I don't know how else I'm gonna rank everyone, but I might move. I might move him to waiter. I honestly might move him to waiter. One guy that's definitely going into waiter is Leighton Baines. Now, people might be asking, Puyo, why is Leighton Baines on this list? He's nowhere near on the level of other guys on this list. I understand, but I have a soft spot for Leighton Baines because growing up in the 2010s and watching the Premier League, I'm telling you, this elf looking ass Leighton Baines guy was actually a half decent fullback, and I'm not really. I can't remember right now, but I don't remember why Leighton Baines would not get more game time for England. I don't remember the reasoning, but he was like Kieran Trippier before Kieran Trippier. He was like Trent before Trent. Like, he was a very good fullback, and he was excellent at set pieces, free kicks, crosses into the box, free kicks into the box, in swingers, out swingers. He was very good at all that. But when we're talking about the resume, the accomplishments, the teams these other fullbacks have played for, Leighton Baines is going to have to be a waiter. You know what? Honestly, I rate Leighton Baines higher as a fullback than Cesar Azpilicueta. So actually, Leighton, this is my list, and I'm gonna give you the respect I think you deserve. You're gonna be a table 3 fullback here for me. Next guy, Cafu. Now, I preface in the video, right? Some of these guys might be higher than my ranking because I saw them at the tail ends of their career, and I saw Cafu at the tail end of his career. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to ignore his whole career. We are looking at the only guy on this list with 2 World Cups. And not many players within the last, I think he's the only player with 2 World Cups to his name as a player within the last 25, 30 years. I think Ronaldinho might have 2, or Kaká might have 2 to his name as well. But Cafu is also one of those guys in that Brazilian golden generation from the 90s and early 2000s that has 2 World Cups to his name. But Yes, he was fantastic, and I think Cafu is the second most well-rounded fullback of all time. I don't think he's the king. I don't think Cafu's the king. There's a guy coming up in the list here that is the king. You know, Cafu was a very good dribbler. I think wasn't Cafu didn't Cafu used to put the ball up on his head and dribble with the ball? Sometimes he would literally dribble with the ball by juggling with his head. I'm pretty sure he would do crazy stuff like that. He was an excellent captain. He was an excellent fullback, fast, strong, good in the tackle. Obviously multiple Champions Leagues, played for AC Milan for I don't even remember how many years. But obviously, I saw him at the end of his career at AC Milan, and he still won. I think he won one or two Champions Leagues with AC Milan in the 2000s. I don't remember, but yeah, I'm gonna be ranking guys within the tables as well. So I'm gonna tell you right now, no one is getting above of Cafu in table one. He is going to be second place for me in all-time fullbacks that I've seen. Next guy, David Alaba. Now, guys, Alaba's an interesting one because Alaba did make the transition to center back 4 years ago in that Hansi Flick Bayern team in 2020. He made the transition to center back, and he's had an excellent career at center back. And weirdly enough, he's won more Champions Leagues playing as a center back than as a fullback. He won he was Bayern's left back in that 2012-2013 treble winning Bayern team, one of the greatest teams of all time, right? He was People don't realize David Alaba was like 19, 20 years old at that time. David Alaba broke onto the scene, him and Ribery on the left side for Bayern at a very young age. So David Alaba, in my opinion, out of all those guys from the 2010s, Jordi Alba, Marcelo, David Alaba, I think out of those three who were the big three left backs in the 2010s, he was the most well-rounded left back. He was the best left back out of all of them. Now, yes, Marcelo has the Champions Leagues. Jordi Alba has the Euros with Spain and MSN Barcelona and all the La Liga titles. But David Alaba was the most well-rounded left back of his generation. He was fantastic as a 19-year-old, combining with Ribery. Obviously, Ribery was his father figure at Bayern. David Alaba is so underrated in my opinion. I think a lot of people, if they're doing this tier list like I'm doing it, I feel like a lot of people might put him in table two. But I'm sorry, he is absolutely a table one fullback for me. He is amazing. And obviously he could play multiple positions. Left back, left wing back, left mid, left center mid, defensive mid, left center back. He can do so many things. He is honestly one of the most talented players I've ever seen. David Alaba is 100% table one for me. Now, Jordi Alba. The picture is kind of small. Apologies, but this is Jordi Alba. Where am I going to put Jordi Alba? So obviously, when I think of Jordi Alba, I think of him and Messi combining on the left side. Messi playing that over the top ball to Jordi Alba running in behind. I think at the end of Jordi Alba's Barcelona career, obviously right now he's playing for Inter Miami, just shitting on people on the MLS. But for Jordi Alba, I think a lot of people, especially in the Barcelona fan base, they overhated him too much in his final 2 years at Barcelona, 2, 3 years. A lot of people would scapegoat him, say he's not good enough. But honestly, he was fantastic, and he was one of the key players for that Barcelona league winning side just 2 years ago or 3 years ago, whenever it was under Javi. He was one of the key guys playing fantastic football for Barcelona. You know, I think a lot of people don't respect Jordi Alba as much as he should be respected because a lot of people will, reduce him to, oh, he was just so attacking. He wasn't a great defender. And that's true. Jordi Alba was not a great defender. And for that, if I'm telling you guys what I want from a fullback, in all honesty, from my fullback, I want you to be a fucking world class defender. I want you to be good in the tackle. I want you to track your runner well. I want you to be good in 1v1 defending scenarios. And to be honest, Jordi Alba was never the strongest. He was never ever the strongest at 1v1 defending. And that's why I think David Alba from the 2010s is actually a more talented and more complete left back than Jordi Alba and Marcelo, he will be coming up soon. But honestly, it might be wild, but I'm putting Jordi Alba in table two. That's just my opinion, guys. I'm sorry, I cannot put a defender in table one or in king position if you're not actually a world-class great defender. And Jordi Alba, every Barcelona fan, every person who has watched him will tell you he was not a great defender. He just wasn't. His attacking qualities is what carried him in his career. And for me, when I'm rating my fullbacks, defense first, he can't be table one. He's got to be table two. João Cancelo. Now, João Cancelo, out of all the fullbacks I've seen, I think João Cancelo, attacking wise, might be top five. As an attacker, João Cancelo might be a top five attacking fullback I've ever seen. But when we're talking about defense, when we're talking about the art of defending, not Jordi, João Cancelo in the art of defending is an absolute waiter. So honestly, I want to put João Cancelo in the waiter category. But because he's so good going forward, because he's so freaking good. And I know he's at Al Hilal right now, getting that paycheck in Saudi, because he's so good going forward. And obviously, um, won league titles at City, fell with Pep Guardiola there. He's gonna be table 3 for me, and I'm not putting him above Leighton Baines, but João Cancelo just is such a garbage defender. And he was at Bayern, he won a Bundesliga as well. And I loved him at Bayern for that season he was there. Trust me, when he was there on loan, I liked him. He was great going forward, and that's easy to look good in a Bayern team that's going to dominate in possession and have the ball all the time. But when it comes to the bare bones defending, out of all the top fullbacks that have played for the biggest teams the last 20 years, and from what I've seen, João Cancelo might be the worst defender. He genuinely might be the worst defender I've ever seen make it at such a high level as fullback. João Cancelo, table 3 for me. Roberto Carlos. Now, again, I saw Roberto Carlos in the tail end of his career. I will be putting Roberto Carlos at table 1. Now, I don't think he was as good as I don't think his defensive qualities are as good as a lot of people remember. Obviously, I didn't watch him week in, week out. I saw him at the tail end of his career. I saw him when he was fat at the 2006 World Cup and everything. But here's the thing. Again, just like a lot of these fullbacks on this list, just supremely talented going forward. World Cup, obviously was part of the Real Madrid Galacticos, has a Champions League to his name. Or how many does he have? 1 or 2 Champions Leagues to his name? I don't remember, but he has a Champions League to his name. He has a World Cup, Brazilian legend, one of the best left backs we've ever seen. But to be honest, guys, when I'm putting him in table 1, I don't put him above David Alaba. I'm sorry, I can't. I can't put him above David Alaba. I really can't. That's how highly I rate defending. That's how highly I rate David Alaba. I am not putting David Alaba below Roberto Carlos in table 1. He will go to table 1. Roberto Carlos, you can enjoy the snacks and drinks and everything in table 1, but just Roberto, let me tell you right now, I'm very close to putting you here, top of table 2. I'm very close to it, Roberto Carlos. I'm very close to it, but I will put you in the bottom of table 1 for now. Dani Carvajal. Now let's go automatically. Dani Carvajal is going to go. I don't know why my computer's tripping out right now. Dani Carvajal at this point is a table 1 fullback. He is. Consistency for Real Madrid, 10 years plus, all those Champions Leagues. And like I said, something I treasure a lot in fullbacks is defensive capabilities. Are you a good defender? And then are you good going forward? Now, okay, maybe I won't get too ahead of myself. Dani Carvajal is nowhere near as good going forward as he is, as a defender. Now, that is weird to say within the last year because he scored some key goals for Spain in the Euros. He scored in the Champions League final. I understand. Dani Carvajal scored that here in the Champions League final. A big moment, making it a 1-0 for Real Madrid against Dortmund. But and actually, Dani Carvajal, I remember that Super Cup game, the UEFA Super Cup game against Sevilla. He scored that insane solo goal. So he's not horrible going forward, but Dani Carvajal's defensive capabilities far outshine his offensive capabilities. So Dani Carvajal, I think a lot of people still sleep on him after the year he's had as well. But, at this age, he just tore his ACL, so I think he's not going to come back the same. So I think we've seen the last of Dani Carvajal at his peak. But you guys, 10 plus years at Real Madrid, consistency. I think he has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Champions Leagues now, a Euros for Spain as well. I think that does it for him, dude. He's absolutely table 1. And yeah, you know what? Roberto Carlos, I'm sorry. Dani Carvajal is better than you, in my opinion. But I'm putting David Alaba still above Dani Carvajal, in my opinion, 100%. Ashley Cole, 100% table 1. Now, again, no, that's too. No. I won't be too disrespectful. I won't be too disrespectful to Roberto Carlos. Ashley Cole's gonna be table 1 for me because table 1 for me. Sometimes, sorry guys, I talk too fast sometimes. So if you think, whatever, I just talk too fast. I get too excited. I'm bricked up right now. No, I'm not. Maybe I am. I don't know. Ashley Cole for me, table 1. I think out of all the left backs that have ever existed, he is the best defending left back I've ever seen. He is the best defender I've ever seen play left back. He is. He's fantastic. I think, a lot of people will talk about, that one clip where Cristiano Ronaldo makes him do the splits or something in the Premier League. I think it was like the 2007 or 2006 season. I don't know. When Ashley Cole was at Chelsea. I think a lot, or was that when he was at Arsenal? I don't remember. But that clip surfaces here and there. Oh, remember when young Cristiano Ronaldo made Ashley Cole do the splits and broke his ankles? But what a lot of people will never bring up is that is the only time I think Cristiano Ronaldo ever got past Ashley Cole. Ashley Cole made Cristiano Ronaldo his bitch in the Premier League. He is one of the best defenders I've ever seen play the left back position. And it's unfortunate that he's English, and it's unfortunate that the English golden generation didn't win anything in the international stage, because if he did win something for England, I would really put Ashley Cole up here where Cafu, Alaba, and Dani Carvajal are, and maybe even past Roberto Carlos, because he was that good of a defender. But it's kind of similar to Jordi Alba's situation, but vice versa. Yes, Ashley Cole was a world-class defender. He was one of the best defenders I've ever seen play fullback. I understand, but he was not good. Like, not good, but he wasn't amazing going forward. Ashley Cole was still part of the generation where fullbacks weren't exactly extremely attacking. Your attacking fullbacks were mainly Brazilian back then. So Ashley Cole wasn't the best going forward, in my opinion, from what I saw. But damn, he was a good defender. Damn, this guy could lock almost anyone down. And for that, he's going in table one for me. And table one's kind of filling up here. Weirdly, I guess a lot of the big names just got pushed to the front here. So we might have to move some guys down, because, table one still got to be exclusive, guys. Not that many people can eat at table one. But yeah. Juan Cuadrado. Now, Cuadrado is going to be a waiter, but he is someone that did play wing, right mid, whatever. But he did make the transition to fullback, and I think it was at Juventus. He was playing a lot of games at fullback, right wing back, right back, whatever it was. And yeah, he was a decent fullback. I thought what made Cuadrado really good as a fullback is because he moved down from being a winger for so many years. Again, he was just a really good fullback going forward, and he had a lot of recovery pace to help him out on the defensive side of the game. But he wasn't that great of a defender. He was garbage defender, and he wasn't that special going forward either. I just put him on this list because I watched a lot of games of Juan Cuadrado, and a lot of him at fullback as well when he was in the Serie A. So Cuadrado is going to be a waiter along with Azpilicueta. Alphonso Davies. Now, obviously, he had a very similar announcement to world football as David Alaba comes onto the scene, breaks into the Bayern 11 as a left back, and yeah, treble winning season in his first full season as a starter in the Bayern team. Left back, so much speed, one of the fastest players on the planet. So very good going forward. Now, I'm gonna put Alphonso Davies in table 2 for now, because I think he's been that good, and I think a lot of people don't realize how consistent Alphonso Davies has been for Bayern. I think a lot of Bayern fans are self-hating Bayern fans. They're narcissists, they're pessimists, and they will tell you Alphonso Davies has been garbage for Bayern the last 3 seasons, but he really hasn't. He's been consistent every time Alphonso Davies has gotten a run of games for Bayern the last 2 or 3 seasons. He's been pretty consistent, and this year under company, Alphonso Davies has probably been Bayern's best defender and top 3 player this season. He has been excellent for Bayern all season so far under company. So he's still young. I think Alfonso's like 23 or 24. I think he's 24 years old right now, maybe 25. So he has a lot of years in his career left, but he's already Do you guys hear the truck? Fucking garbage trucks, man. The day after Christmas, they're out here. Shut up. Anyway, Alphonso Davies has a lot of years left on his career. It looks like he's going to extend that Bayern and stay at Bayern until into his 30s. So hopefully that happens. As a Bayern fan, I really want that to happen. But yeah, I think he's such an explosive fullback, and he is definitely getting better at defending. His defensive capabilities have increased so much the last couple of years. I would put Alphonso Davies in table 2 so far. I genuinely would. I genuinely put Alphonso Davies in table 2. I think his defending is getting increasingly better year after year. Sorry, my English is just not Englishing. And obviously there's only 2 people in table 2. I wouldn't put him near Jordi Alba yet. He still has to do a lot more, but he's won those league titles for Bayern. He's from Canada, leading Canada as well to their first World Cup, scoring at the World Cup as well. He has accomplished a lot, and I don't think a lot of people have realized that. for someone with his background. So Alfonso Davies for me is table two. But as we put more people into table two, I'll maybe push him down more. But I think he's barely in table two, Alfonso Davies. DeMarcos. Now, a lot of people might think, who's DeMarcos? And I know a lot of people are casuals. DeMarcos, DeMarcos is older now for Athletic Club, but you guys, DeMarcos was a special fullback. Okay, maybe not special. How do I put this? DeMarcos was a very respectable fullback during peak La Liga in the 2010s. Very respectable. For Athletic Club, all those games, club legend for them, he was a constant, a constant top performing fullback in La Liga for so many years. And whenever I'd watch him against like Barcelona, Real Madrid, Atleti, the other big teams in Spain, he would perform more times than not. He was a very solid fullback, very fast in his prime, and he was a decent defender. I think, I just have to put him on this list because I think I can't just talk about all the best fullbacks that everyone knows. Maybe not that many people know about DeMarcos. For me, DeMarcos is a very, very solid fullback. There's a reason why he played so many clubs, so many games for Athletic Club, and he's still playing for Athletic Club now. He's just not as good as he used to be because he's much older. He's lost some of that speed. I think he's still a decent defender these days as well, but he's lost some of that speed and can't really keep up sometimes with the young dudes. But, at his peak, so many years at Athletic Club, DeMarcos was a very, very good fullback and a very respectable La Liga veteran at the right back position. So DeMarcos, he's going to go into table three for me. I'm putting him behind Leighton Baines. That's how, guys, Leighton Baines was good. I don't think a lot of people will look at Leighton Baines and laugh at him. I'm sorry, he wasn't a guy to laugh at. He was fucking good. Leighton Baines was good, trust me. Felipe Luis. Now I'm going to put Felipe Luis in the top of table three. How many years Atleti, went to Chelsea, won a league title at Chelsea, went back to Atleti, made Champions League final. I think no. He wasn't in the 2017 Champions League final with Atleti because he was at Chelsea still. I think he was still at Chelsea, but he was the fullback for Atleti when they made the 2014 final where they lost to the eventual La Decima Real Madrid. Yeah, Felipe Luis is just solid. I mean, pretty good in both aspects of the game. Decent defender. Probably was a fullback that was better going forward. Obviously, he's Brazilian, so you're kind of expecting that. But yeah, he's kind of him and Leighton Baines, in my opinion, are similar level fullbacks. Him, Leighton Baines, DeMarcos, in terms of their overall game, are three guys that are all similar level. Now, obviously, Felipe Luis got to play in a Chelsea team that won the Premier League. He got to play in those great Atletico Madrid teams under Diego Simeone. And actually, I think Felipe Luis just won a trophy as manager with, I believe, Flamengo. So he already made the transition to being a manager. So let's see how that pans out. But as a player, yeah, Felipe Luis was a solid left back. And yeah, I'd put him at the top of table three. Jose Gaya, kind of similar scenario to DeMarcos. Now, very fast fullback, just like DeMarcos, but he was someone who was definitely better going forward. He wasn't the best defender. I put Gaia in here because he's just a constant for Valencia, still playing for them now during their struggles. I don't know how many caps he has for Spain. I'm not sure, but he's just been a constant. I've seen so many games from Gaia. I had to put him in this list. But honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I have to put I'll put him. Dude, honestly, I'm putting João Cancelo in the waiter category. He's an awful defender, and I'm gonna put Gaia at the bottom of table three. I'm sorry, João Cancelo, you're going in the waiter. I'll put you at least above Cuadrado, but yeah, João Cancelo, I have to move him. Now that I've rated more people, I'm just I'm looking at João Cancelo next to these guys, and it doesn't seem right to me. So João Cancelo go to the waiters list. So yeah, Jose Gaia going in table three. Hakimi. Now, I think Hakimi is a guy that's a little overhated. I think a lot of people think he's a pace merchant, just good going forward. Hakimi is a good defender. He's not amazing. There was a reason why he was on Real Madrid's books way back then. He's had great season at Inter, great seasons at Dortmund, and now he's at PSG. And it looks like he's going to stay there long term and kind of cement himself over there. I don't know how to judge his time at PSG because he's had on and off spells of form, and at times I've been clowning Hakimi, thinking he's trash. But dude, if I'm being honest, Hakimi is a decent fullback. I listen. I'm putting him in the waiter category, and I'm gonna put him above João Cancelo. Not to be disrespectful to him. Now, Part of me wants to put him in table 3, but I'm gonna put him in the waiter category because he's still very young and has a lot of years left on his career. The only thing that's making me want to put him in table 3 is because he was the one of the leaders of that Morocco team to make it to the semifinals of the 2022 World Cup, the first African side to make it to the World Cup semifinal. And he was excellent that tournament. You know, had that iconic like penguin celebration. You know, he was great. But on the club level, no, actually, I think I'm weighing too much of his PSG as time at PSG because Hakimi was one of the best fullbacks in the world at Inter and at Dortmund. So I think I'm actually being a little bit too harsh on him here. I think there were times when people were putting Hakimi as the best, if not top 3 right back in the world. So I think I'm being a little bit too disrespectful to him. I'll put Hakimi in the middle of table 3 for now. Ivanovic, Champions League winner for Chelsea. I just think I'll put him at the bottom of table 3. I just think people overrate him now. I think people think, oh, Ivanovic, you know, he's got that Serbian name. I think he's from Serbia, right? He's got that Serbian name, Ivanovic. I think a lot of people look at him with nostalgia tax now. Yes, he's got some Premier Leagues for Chelsea, Champions League for Chelsea. I understand, but he honestly wasn't that stellar of a of a fullback. He wasn't. Now I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Was Ivanovic a left back or right back? I think he was a left back, right? But either way, it doesn't matter. Ivanovic, yeah, he was a better defender than he was going forward as a fullback. He was still kind of in that generation of fullbacks where there was kind of a shift where fullbacks were becoming more and more and more attacking, regardless of whether you're Brazilian or not. So he was a better defender than he was going forward. I just put him on the list because I've seen a ton of Ivanovic. So yeah, I'm gonna put him at the bottom of table 3. Next guy, Reece James. Now, Reece James, when he's fit, has the potential to be table 1 if he's fit. But since he won the Champions League since he won the Champions League in 2021, and he was fantastic that year, he was the best right back in the world in 2021. Reece James cannot play 3 games in a row without getting injured. He cannot play 3 games in a row. I kid you not. And go look it up. I don't think he's played 3 games in a row for Chelsea since 2021 or early 2022. I'm dead ass. And this has hampered his career progression so much. And I really feel bad for him because Reece James is probably right now, along with Dani Carvajal and Yoso Kimmich, who's coming up when he does play right back, one of the most complete fullbacks in the world. He's a special talent, but his hamstrings are made out of paper. Reece James' hamstrings are made out of paper for some reason. You could literally put him in a sprinting contest and he'll tear his hamstrings in half. It's ridiculous how Reece James keeps getting injured like that. And unfortunately, when a player like him has gotten so many injuries like that and it's reoccurring, the future doesn't look bright. And honestly, I don't see Reece James rebounding and recovering in his career to the point where he's going to be playing full seasons for Chelsea again, being the Chelsea captain, being the face of Chelsea. He's kind of lost that. Cole Palmer is now the new face of Chelsea with Caicedo, Enzo. He is not really, he's kind of an afterthought right now at Chelsea. No one really thinks of him because I think Chelsea fans have gotten annoyed with his injury issues. Now, but putting injuries aside, for what he's done in his career so far, Reece James would be top of table 3. But I'm sorry, for all the injuries he's had, I have to put him at the top of the waiter category. I have to. You cannot be getting injured so much and be rated highly. You can't. So, let's see what happens in his career. I really hope he makes a comeback because he's an excellent fullback. He really is. And he has the potential to be table 2 and table 1. But, dude, injuries are injuries, and I can't ignore it. I can't. So, Reece James, top of the waiter. And, we're going to go from a guy who always gets injured to Yoso Kimmich, a guy who never gets injured. And I'm telling you right now, Yoso Kimmich is a table 1 right back, excellent going forward, excellent defender. I would put him above. I think he's better than Dani Carvajal. I think the reason why I put him above Dani Carvajal is because he is just as good a defender as Dani Carvajal, but he is a better fullback going forward than Dani Carvajal. Now, this is a guy who's going to be in the midfielders list as well because he's a world-class midfielder as well. But if I were to choose a position I wish Yosa Kimmich stuck to his whole career, I would have wished it was right back. I would have wished it was right back because I think if he played the last 5 years at right back, I think a lot of people would be putting him as one of the greatest right backs to ever live. And he is one of the greatest right backs, in my opinion. Excellent going forward. his sextuple. He won the sextuple with Bayern that treble winning season as a midfielder. But as a right back, before that, he was getting as many assists as Trent Alexander-Arnold was that back then. That's how good he was going forward. And you saw at the Euros, if you watched the Euros this summer, because he has been told you're going to be right back for Germany by Nagelsmann, he was fucking excellent. He was the best right back the entire tournament, along with Dani Carvajal at the Euros. He is world class at right back, excellent. Crossing into the box is just as good as Trent, in my opinion. I would put Trent a little bit above him because Trent has this unique ability to put a ball in with like insane speed. And I'm kind of realizing something here. I think I forgot Trent. I forgot to put Trent in this list. Don't hate me. I think I forgot to put Trent in this list, or his picture didn't process. Okay, that's unfortunate. We will rate Trent at the end, but without a picture. But yeah, Joshua Kimmich for me, just fucking excellent, excellent, excellent. Bayern legend, table one, right back for me. Absolutely. Table one. Him and Alaba are the same. Just two guys who are world class going forward and in defense, world class in multiple positions. Joshua Kimmich can play right center back. He's a world class midfielder, world class defensive mid. He can play right wing back as well. He's just such a insane player. And I'm just blessed to have watched him and that he's stayed at Bayern for so many years. So yeah, table one is actually filling up a lot here. I don't know. We'll see at the end of the video. I might move guys down. But yeah, next guy, Dani Alves. Yeah, table one. Dude. Bro, honestly, this is tough. That's too many people in table one. What are we thinking? I think that's dude, you can't even see the rest of the guys in table one. That's too many people in table one. We're moving guys down. Because I think I'm seeing people that might go into table one as well. No, this actually might be. Okay, no, we're going to keep table one as is. Just know behind my face, Roberto Carlos and Ashley Cole are there. Dani Alves, dude, the right back for those Pep Guardiola Barca days, was part of the MSN Barcelona. So good going forward. Obviously, he wasn't the greatest defender. And honestly, I'm going to put him behind actually Dani Carvajal here. But just, dude, just so good going forward. Him and Messi Messi had a connection with everyone, but him and Messi had that connection, just go bombing up and down that wing for Barcelona. And I think a lot of people think of Dani Alves and think Barcelona. The guy was fucking good at PSG. The guy was excellent. He made a Champions League final with Juventus in 2017. That's how good this guy was at right back. The only thing for Dani Alves, and honestly, in 2019, as an old man, I think he was the captain for Brazil when they won Copa America in 2019. So honestly, Dani Alves, very underrated. He won that trophy for Brazil. If he didn't win that trophy for Brazil, I'd put him at the end of table one, but he won that trophy for Brazil without Neymar in the team. Just that elevated him for me. The only thing, again, that puts him lower than maybe he could have been is just his defending. He wasn't a world-class defender. He was a good defender. He wasn't a garbage defender. He wasn't he was definitely a better defender than Jordi Alba. I'll tell you right now, but he wasn't like, wow, this guy's a great defender. Wow, he's so good in the tackle. He wasn't that. But damn, he was good going forward. Dani Alves was good going forward. And I understand off the field, we're understanding that he was a piece of crap, but you got to separate the art from the artist, guys. Let's be honest. You got to separate the art from the artist. That's what I'm doing here. And Dani Alves, I'm going to put him at table one. So to remember, because my fat head is in the way, Dani Alves, and then behind me is Roberto Carlos and Ashley Cole. Actually, let me see. Is Dani Alves showing? Okay, Ashley Cole is behind my head. He's the only guy being covered right now. Yeah, and here we go, guys. We're here. We've reached him. The king. Philip Lahm, for me, is my GOAT fullback. Now, I think the only conversation for a GOAT fullback is between these two, between Philip Lahm and Cafu. Two World Cup winning captains, two guys that are just the epitome of being a right back, so amazing. But the thing that makes Philip Lahm stand out the most, World Cup winning captain just like Cafu, all that. But the thing that makes Philip Lahm stand out the most is that he might be one of the greatest defenders. He is a top 5 defender, flat out. In the art of defense, Philip Lahm is top 5 out of all defenders that ever existed. Philip Lahm, the sexiest slide tackle of all time. He was never the fastest. Don't get me mistaken. He wasn't slow. Philip Lahm was quick, but he was never the fastest. He never had insane recovery speed, but that forced him to become a smarter defender. His positioning on the field, fantastic to deal with people who are faster than him. His tackling, his standing tackle, his slide tackle, some of the best tackling, I think the best tackling I've ever seen. The best tackling I've ever seen is from Philip Lahm. And people sometimes think and won't give Philip Lahm credit and maybe put him lower than I would put him because they think Philip Lahm was like an Ashley Cole, where he's largely a way better defender than he was going forward. You guys, don't be mistaken. Philip Lahm, his best season in terms of assists, his best season was in 2012, 2013. I think he has more assists in one season than Trent has even achieved. And people are regarding Trent as one of the best, attacking right backs of all time at such a young age. Philip Lahm was that good going forward. He had a season with like 19, 20 assists from right back. And I think it was that 2012, 2013 season. Philip Lahm is the most complete fullback I have ever seen. He is a leader. He is one of these, if not the smartest player I've ever seen play. Pep Guardiola said it himself. You guys, Pep Guardiola has coached all those players at City, Company, De Bruyne, David Silva, at Barcelona, Messi, Xavi, Iniesta. Who is the guy that Pep Guardiola said is the smartest player he's ever coached? It's Philip frickin' Lahm. It's Philip frickin' Lahm, and that's why I'm putting Philip Lahm as my frickin' king, my GOAT fullback. Some might say it's biased, but I think enough people don't give him the credit. I think he's the king. He's the king of all fullbacks. He is the king of all fullbacks. And I think that's what puts him above Cafu. Just the fact that going forward, Philip Lahm was just as good as Cafu, as Alaba, Kimmich, Carvajal, Dani Alves, Roberto Carlos. He was just as good as them. But then we're talking about defending. He is absolutely the best defensive fullback to ever live. To ever live. And his level of defending is up there with Maldini, with Nesta, with those guys. That's the level of defending Philip Lahm had. And that's why he's my GOAT fullback. Maicon, I think he's overrated. A lot of people might put him in table 1. I think that's nostalgia tax. He's not table 3, that's for sure. Yes, he got adopted by Gareth Bale, and that's one of the last memories I have of Maicon. I think after he got adopted by Gareth Bale in the Europa League, Spurs versus Inter, he kind of fell off. But throughout the 2000s and late 2000s, he was excellent. I always remember his insane goal at the 2010 World Cup from like the end of the field. Like he made such a weird Chivella goal in the 2010 World Cup. I recommend you go watch it if you can. But yeah, Maicon, I'll put him in table 2, but I'll put him at the bottom of table 2. I think a lot of people look at nostalgia, PES, early FIFA days for some reason, and they let that dictate how they think of Maicon. He wasn't as good as I remember a lot of people say he was. I really don't remember a table 1 fullback in his prime. I really don't. So yeah, Maicon going in table 2. Marcelo, he's going to suffer from the Jordi Alba. He's going to suffer from the Jordi Alba treatment. I understand, you guys. I understand. And if you're a Real Madrid fan, you're going to hate me. I understand Marcelo has all those Champions Leagues. He is probably, I'm looking at these guys on the list. Is he the best attacking left back of all time? I think Marcelo is the best attacking left back of all time. This is what Marcelo was. And I remember now. This is my thoughts on Marcelo. He was a world-class winger without speed, so they chucked him at left back. That's who Marcelo was. I'm telling you, this guy, he wasn't as bad as João Cancelo, but he was not a good defender. This guy was not even good. He wasn't great. He wasn't even great. He wasn't even good. He was a big average defender. His defensive capabilities on par with like your average Premier League, La Liga fullback. He was not stellar in defense at all. But going forward, I can admit it. He terrorized Bayern sometimes as well. Marcelo might be the greatest attacking left back of all time. And now that I'm saying that, because I say Ashley Cole is like the second best defensive left back of all time, and I still put him in table 1. I'm going to put Marcelo in table 1. He's going to go to the bottom of table 1, though. And so behind my face, Ashley Cole is behind my face, and Marcelo is behind my face. Obviously, all those Champions Leagues, part of three-peat Real Madrid, little bit of an asshole on the field. Honestly, Marcelo was a little bit of an asshole, but that's what made him special. Iconic poofy hair. He is who he was. Like, just I think I'm comfortable saying that he is the best attacking left back of all time. I think I'm comfortable saying that. If Marcelo had speed, if Marcelo just had the speed of Alfonso Davies, I think we would have seen one of the greatest left wingers of all time. But he didn't, so they chucked him at left back, and he did his thing there. Won so many Champions Leagues for Real Madrid. I'm gonna put him in table one. So yeah, table one's actually filling up here. That shows you the quality of fullbacks that we've had the last 20 in the 21st century, at least since I've been alive. Jesus Navas, table two, 100%. I'll put him above Alfonso Davies for now. Obviously, he just retired because of hip issues mid-season for Sevilla. Legend for Sevilla. World Cup winner. Was at the Euros also for Spain, so he's got the World Cup Euros. I think he has 2 Euros. Does he have 2 Euros? How many Euros does Jesus Navas has? I don't know, but just one of the most consistent fullbacks of his time. So fast. He was good going forward, and obviously he's Spanish, so he's very technically sound. Very technically sound fullback. Absolutely, Jesus Navas is table two. And yeah, bro, he's 39. He was still playing for Sevilla right now. And the only reason he retired right now is because of hip issues. I think he has like arthritis in his hip. That's the only reason he's retiring. So that just shows you the longevity and the quality Jesus Navas has had throughout his whole career. So respect to him. He just retired. He's definitely a table two fullback for me. Excellent. Excellent. Gary Neville, yeah, table two for me. Gary Neville, obviously he was the better fullback of the Neville brothers. I would put him above Jesus Navas, below Jordi Alba. Um, the thing with Gary Neville is, and I think something that carries him a lot in these when we're talking about ranking fullbacks conversations, is the fact that he was one of Fergie's guys. He was one of the most dependable people in the Fergie era at United, captain of Manchester United, all those Premier League titles, was there, as an academy graduate. It's just longevity, longevity. The longevity he showed in the Premier League, Champions League winner as well. Very good defender. I think a lot of people don't give him credit. I think because of his horrible takes as a pundit, and he's honestly kind of a clown as a pundit, if I'm being honest. He's kind of a clown as a pundit. People overhate him because he, sucks off Manchester United and is never, he sometimes plays it up for the camera when he's criticizing them. But the thing with Gary Neville is that he was a good defender. There's a reason why he was able to survive under Fergie for so long. You guys, if you weren't good enough, you wouldn't have played that many years under Fergie at such a high level in the Premier League. You wouldn't have. That's how good he was. But he just wasn't that. He was just dull going forward. He wasn't a guy that went forward. At least from what I can remember, he wasn't someone that would go forward and try to do insane things and assist. He was defense first. Now, when we're comparing defense first fullbacks like Ashley Cole, if we're comparing him to Ashley Cole, they're honestly similar level. I just think Ashley Cole was a better defender in 1v1 scenarios than Gary Neville was. So that's why I'm putting Gary Neville in table two. And I'm putting him below. Honestly, I'll put him above Jordi Alba. I think I have to show him respect for the longevity he had. I would put him at the top of table two so far. Benjamin Pavard. Now, people might be thinking, why is Pavard on here? That's weird. He's not done with his career. He's always been a right center back. But guys, Benjamin Pavard has accomplished so much as a right back, even though Benjamin Pavard's best position is the right center back in a back three. That is his best position. But you guys, he's a World Cup winning right back for France in 2018. He was Bayern's right back when they won the Sextuple in 2020 in that treble winning Bayern side. He was the right back. A lot of people think Kimmich was the right back. Benjamin Pavard was the right back for Bayern because Kimmich had already moved to midfield at that time in 2020. Benjamin Pavard was the right back. And I've been trying to get people to realize it. Benjamin Pavard is a world-class right back. He is. He's a great defender, and he's very good for going forward. Now, all that being said, I'm putting him at table three, and I'm putting Pavard at the top of table three. Now, he's not going to play right back anymore. He moved to Inter, and he's going to be playing in that back three for who knows how many years. But as a right back, he's already won a World Cup, and he was part of the Sextuple Bayern. Hansi Flick. Bro, top of table 3 for you, Benjamin Pavard. And it's unfortunate he won't continue the rest of his career at right back because I really think he could have been up in table 2, but he just prefers that center back position more. He just does. And I can't blame him. That's the position he grew up playing. So it is what it is. Lucas Piszczek, one of those guys in the special Dortmund team under Klopp. 2 league titles, Champions League final with Dortmund. I'm putting him in table 3. I'll put him in second place in table 3. Just, yeah. He was part of that like Polish 3 at Dortmund. Him, Jakub Blaszczykowski, and Lewandowski. Like, he was a very good right back. Probably one of the best defenders Dortmund's ever had. He was very good in defense as well. Just, I kind of thought Lucas Piszczek could have made the move to the Premier League, to a Liverpool, a Man City. I feel like he had the quality, but he just never did. And yeah, table 3, that's where he's going to go. Robertson, again, table 3. I'd put him above Lucas Piszczek, just part of that energetic Klopp side. Something that always... My girlfriend's dog is barking. He's kind of an energy merchant, and I might pause the video here when my girlfriend comes back. Yeah, I'm going to pause the video. I'll be back in a second. Wait, I think I'm back. Wait, did I just... Okay, I'm back. Let's just finish this video up. I'm going to go to the mall. Yeah, Bakary Sagna, waiter, like decent Premier, like he was decent. I'll put him in waiter. Danilo is also a waiter. I'm sorry. Okay, we're going to speed through these. Theo Hernandez. I think Lucas Hernandez is a better defender, and I don't know why I didn't put Lucas Hernandez on here because he's a World Cup winning left back. But Theo Hernandez, I'll put him in table 3 for now. But Theo Hernandez needs to make that move to like a Bayern, Real Madrid, Barcelona, something like that to bolster his career. I'd put him with Hakimi so far. Van Bronckhorst, in my opinion, he scored the greatest goal of all time in a World Cup. That goal against Uruguay is the greatest goal I've ever seen at a World Cup. Obviously won the Champions League with Barcelona as well. I'll put him in table 2. Kyle Walker, table 2 defender as well. I'll put him behind Gary Neville. Zabaleta, table 3, but I would put him right here, like where Felipe Luis. Zambrotta, I'll put him table 2 as well, up here, maybe up below Kyle Walker. And Zanetti, last guy, is going to go into table 1, and I'm going to put him above Roberto Carlos in my table 1 category. There's my list, guys. Zanetti, like, just to give Zanetti is just the greatest Argentinian fullback of all time, in my opinion. Obviously, never won the World Cup or anything with them, but he was excellent. He was an excellent player, Serie A legend. Yes, he didn't win a trophy for Argentina, but he is the greatest Argentinian fullback, in my opinion, of all time. Sorry, I just sped run it there at the end, but I'm hungry. My girlfriend's waiting for me. I'm going to go to the mall and get those post-Christmas deals, guys. It's been your boy Hokage Puya. I'm going to do center backs next after this. Here's the list. My GOAT, Philip Lahm, Cafu, Alaba, Kimmich, Carvajal, Dani Alves, Zanetti, Roberto Carlos, Marcelo, and Ashley Cole in table 1. Gary Neville, Kyle Walker, Zambrotta, Jordi Alba, Jesus Navas, Alphonso Davies, Maicon and Van Bronckhorst in table 2. And actually, remember, I said I would do Trent, but I don't have a picture for Trent. Trent would go here with Alphonso Davies in table 2. I think Alphonso Davies and Trent both have the potential to be up here at the end of the career, above, like at the top of table 2, or potentially in table 1 as well. So yeah, I would put Trent where Alphonso Davies is, in the middle of table 2. So you guys, I'll see you guys the next one. I'll post the center back. I'm going to film the center back video when I'm back in 2 days at home with my original setup. So I'll post this later today. You guys, it's been your boy Hokage Puya. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.